How's it going, everyone? Back with another 9.3 quick fix video. I was going over the maintenance history on my 2003 Saab 9.3 and I realized I've had these spark plugs sitting just in the garage for quite a while. So I wanted to see the last time I did these, and it's actually been 25,000 miles since I last did my spark plugs. In reality, you should be doing your spark plugs probably more frequently than that. This car is tuned to a stage 3, so it's putting a lot more wear on the engine components, things like that. So especially with things like spark plugs, I should probably be doing these every other oil change, meaning at least every 10,000 miles. My car does not have any misfires. This is just some general preventative maintenance similar to like an oil change that I would do on my car. Secondly, I want to talk actual spark plugs. This is like the oil debate. You'll go on Facebook groups and you'll see people recommend different spark plugs for these cars, and they'll fight each other tooth and nail, and it's quite honestly kind of funny. If your car is tuned, I would say go with whatever spark plug your tuner recommends. That could be this spark plug here, which I'll get to in a minute, could be the factory spark plug, or it could be something totally different. This car is running a map tuned stage 3 plus on it, so I am running NGK BCPR 7ES11s. I have run these spark plugs on the car basically since I owned it. You can run these if you're stock. You can also run them if you're modified. This is probably the most popular spark plug for these cars. If you do, however, want the OEM Saab spark plug, I guess part number or whatever, I'll put that on the screen here just for your reference in case you'd like to get those. These are super cheap though. You can get these off of Amazon. I think last time I bought these, there's like 4 of them for 10 or 12 bucks. So super cheap. And of course, they're super easy to replace. I do also want to speak briefly on spark plug gaps. I've gapped my spark plugs in the past between 0.8 and 0.9 millimeters. That roughly equates to 0.03, 0.035 inches. If you, fortunately, when I went up to AutoZone, they didn't have a metric version. This is just a spark plug gapping tool. So I had to convert it to inches, but we'll be using this here in a minute as well to make sure our new plugs are gapped properly. First thing we need to do is take off our little cover for the coil packs and plugs. These are just 4 T30 screws. Next, we need to pop off our coil packs. There's one 10 millimeter bolt that holds each one on. Of course, you should use a special spark plug socket to get these out. The spark plug sockets are magnetic, so that way it'll just pull the spark plug out with it, like that. And if you're wondering, it is a 5/8 size socket. But this spark plug for 25,000 miles doesn't look too bad. Closer look at these now that I've got all 4 out. See, they did hold up pretty well over 25,000 miles outside of being a little dirty. Tips aren't especially discolored or anything negative. Obviously the new ones look way better. So I went ahead and tested these. It looks like these are actually at about 0.9 millimeters already. So the way I tested it was basically just slid this in here, and as you turn it, it gets thicker. So I went till it stopped, and it stopped just under 0.04, about 0.035 inches, I would say, which is about 0.9 millimeters. So these should be good. I also compared what these are all at. These are all out basically what these are at. So I think maybe last time I put these in, I didn't touch the gap, and obviously it ran fine. So I think we're just going to go ahead and throw these in as they are, and then we'll take the car for a quick drive. One last step is to put some anti-seize on the threads here, because the last thing we want is for these threads to seize up in the cylinder head, and then we've got a pretty big problem if that happens. So just a little bit of anti-seize on the threads, and we'll be good to go. There's a specific torque rating for these spark plugs, you don't want to torque them down super hard. I just kind of do that, and that's usually more than enough because I don't have a torque wrench small enough to measure out those sorts of ratings. So if you don't have one, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Just don't want to tighten it down super hard. Hopping on the freeway here, let's see how she does. Oh yeah, nice and good. All right. Still has it in her after almost 170,000 miles. This thing is still a heck of a lot of fun, and I really love this thing. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what spark plugs you run in your 9.3 down below in the comments, and I'll see you all next time.
Take it easy.